Hello, 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 my friends, and welcome to another episode of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. This is the podcast dedicated in bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old-time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I'm your host, Keith, aka the Radio Show Nerd, and tonight's episode is entitled Restless Spirits. So, without further ado, this is Terror Radio. The two radio series highlighted tonight are The Creaking Door and The Mystery Playhouse. Our two radio plays are Man in the Morgue, which was first broadcasted on The Creaking Door January 18th, 1965, followed by The Skull That Walked. And this was featured on the Mystery Playhouse sometime in 1944. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to Man in the Morgue, followed by The Skull That Walked.
I have flown, I have sailed, I have moved about this world of ours, and ever in search of the finest of its kind, we bring you the tops in spine chillers. The Creaking Door. The manufacturers of State Express 3/5 Filter King cigarettes take pleasure in presenting The Creaking Door.
Good evening, friends of The Creaking Door. The Creaking Door is open. So do come in. We've got some rather interesting specimens on view here. Some old skeletons and a skull or two, which proved quite fascinating once I'd managed to remove the outer covering. Come to think of it, one of those skulls looks just like yours.
Move in world class. Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3/5s today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders, and the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3/5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Move in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3/5s today.
A gray stone building stands at the end of the alleyway. There's a small brass plate on the door. It reads, Metropolitan Police Morgue.
You don't miss much, do you, Tom?
I mustn't miss anything, will you, if I'm going to keep my job as a crime reporter. What is it, another hit-and-run case?
That's what they said when they brought him in. Oh, made a proper mess of him. Multiple fractures, Dr. Wilson said.
Anyone interesting? Is it worth a paragraph in my paper?
No. Just another tramp. Never had a bob on him.
Oh, pity. Stuck for a story. Accidents aren't my department.
Yeah, you never know. It might be. Struck from behind he was. Like to have a look?
Yes, Willie, I will. Although I'd been in that large, cold room many times, unlike Willie, I never felt completely at ease. I walked over to what Willie euphemistically described as his cold storage bins and watched him pull out Section 26.
Look at him. Fished out the Thames he was 2 days ago. Looked terrible when he first came in, but I cleaned him up like. We have lots of conversations without uttering a word. Yeah, I suppose you think I'm mad, too.
No, not you, Willie. Not on your life. How did you get into this job?
Oh, well, it's a long story, Tom. Hey, you see, I was guest during the 1418 war.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Shortly after I returned, the missus died. We never had any children and no relatives to speak of. It was difficult finding a job. For one thing, I couldn't stand heat of any sort. My lungs would start playing up. Oh, believe me, Tom, I walked hundreds of miles through the streets of London before I found a job that no one else wanted.
Uh-huh.
And a job, so to speak, which didn't require much effort and which most certainly was cool. Yeah, so here I am.
You are indeed. And I don't know what they do without you. Mind you, it isn't the sort of job that anyone can do.
Oh, no, of course it isn't, Tom. You often find some wise character at the pub who says, how can you work there? Well, my argument is, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to look after it.
Yeah, that's a point of view.
You know, young Tom, you know what I'd like to be if I hadn't this job?
No, Willie, what?
I'd like to be a doctor. It must be a fine thing to be a doctor. To save life instead of handling death.
How'd you like to be a crime reporter, Willie?
Eh? Oh, no, thanks. I don't suppose they'd let me try to be a doctor now, not at my age. No, if I can't be a doctor, I'll stick to my own job. It's nice and quiet here. You know, Tom, can't help worrying, thinking about this bloke. Look at the back of his trouser leg. Green paint.
Yeah, so it is.
The car must have hit him there.
Did the police see that when they brought the body in?
Oh, yes.
Then whoever knocked him down must have been driving a car that had been freshly painted.
That's about the size of it, Tom. And what's more, that paint couldn't have been put on the car many minutes.
That's true, Willie, it's true. Are you sure you wouldn't have my desk at the Evening Echo?
Oh, yeah, I've already told you. I like it here. It's peaceful. No one argues with me. I like it that way. And my charges are always satisfied. I've never had a complaint yet about the accommodation.
Aren't you ever going to retire, Willie?
Yes, 5 months from now. Oh, not that I want to, mind. No, I'll be sorry leaving here. Oh, I'll be well taken care of. I'll put a tidy sum away, you know. Oh, would you like a cup of tea, Tom? I'm about to make myself up.
No, thanks, Willie. I think I'll nip over to the police station. If I don't get a story soon, yours truly will be putting in an application for your job when you retire. Well, he was a character, all right. What a picturesque turn of phrase he had. To save life instead of handling death. I thought about his words as I walked the 200 yards to the West London police precinct.
Well. How's London's youngest and brightest crime reporter?
A little sad. Yours truly, you know, if there's no news, it's bad news. Me no write about crime, me no eat. You know anything about the stiff who was knocked down tonight by a green-painted car? I just come from the morgue.
Oh, so you've been talking to friend Willie, have you?
Yes. The incident happened in your manner, Detective Sergeant Wallace. You better prepare to make a statement to the press.
Oh, you must be hard up, Tom. A tramp gets knocked down and already a juicy murder's about to be written up.
Yes, you're right, Ted. I am hard up. I must get a story for the... Yeah.
Oh, just a minute, sure.
He's a reporter still with you, Sergeant. He's one from the telephone.
Yes, he is. It's for you, Tom.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
Speak up, caller.
Hello?
Sorry, Tom. It's Willie.
Oh,
You know, the municipal morgue.
Yes.
Tom,
Yes, Willie, what's the matter? You sound...
Tom, do me a favour, will you?
What's that?
Something funny's going on. I remembered you saying that you were going to the police station. Call in here on your way, will you?
Well, yes, of course. I'm on my way now. Anything wrong?
Wrong? Look, I may be old, Tom, but I'm not balmy, see?
You're the most sane man I know. What's the trouble?
It's about one of me charges.
You're what?
One of me customers.
Oh.
I know this sounds as though I'm going round the bend, but a few minutes ago I happened to be...
Yes, Willie? Hello? Hello, you still there? Hello? It's funny.
Well, what's the matter?
I don't know. But I'm going to find out. It could have been anything. The telephone line going dead. 70-year-old Willie getting so absent-minded as to forget to finish the telephone conversation. As I say, it could have been anything. But I wasn't prepared for what it really was. I got to the front door, and I knocked. I waited. I knew that Willie kept the gate locked always. Said with that soft, kindly grin of his that he didn't want anyone to come messing around with his charges. No answer. I knocked again. Still no answering call from Willie. No croaking voice cheerfully saying, I'm coming, I'm coming. I tried the handle. And the gate opened. Willie! Willie! My voice echoed through the building. Still no answering shout. As I entered the morgue itself, with its long line of refrigerated cabinets all in a neat row as if awaiting my inspection, I had my first clutch of fear. And then I saw it. The swaying cord of the telephone receiver. Well, it failed to replace it. But where was he? And then I had a crazy thought. He's in there. He's in one of those cabinets. Number 23. She's a peaceful-looking old lady. Death hasn't disturbed the serenity of her features. She isn't Willie. Number 24. A shrunken face gazed at me without recognition. Why should he recognize me? I've never seen a guy in my life before. Nor in his life either. Or death. I was going nuts. The old boy must have gone out for a packet of fags or something. But then why should he telephone me at the police station? Why the swinging pendulum of the telephone receiver? What the... Who's there? Willie! Willie, stop playing hide and seek! Willie! No answer. The morgue was as silent as the cadavers it accommodated. Silent, did I say? Stop gagging, Willie. My nerves aren't so good. You sent for me. You said you wanted help. Come on, wherever you're hiding. My blood froze. It wasn't Willie laughing. Dear, shrunken, croaking-voiced Willie. That mad laugh came from no human agency. It's a joke, isn't it? Tough young crime reporter Tom Dixon going nuts in the Metropolitan Police morgue. Now it had become an obsession. Willie had to be in the place. Willie was in grave danger. Willie was... Well, where was he? I ran back to the cabinets. Not you, old chap. Sorry to disturb you. It's your Willie. Where are you, Willie? Where are you? I'm being accommodated in refrigerating cabinet number 28. Well, of course, you don't recognize me as you're lying there. How could you? You're dead.
Moved in world class. Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3 5s today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders. And the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3-5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Move in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3-5s today.
Well. What an extraordinary pastime for our crime reporting friend to indulge in. But back to our story. To the police morgue, where Tom Dixon gazes down at his friend, who has changed his status to that of guest.
Poor Willie. Dying in harness, eh? Somebody put you in that bed, someone or something. But the dead can't walk or move or kill. Where are you? Where are you hiding? I'll get you. I know you killed Willie. Why can't I get a dialing tone? Come on.
West London CRD, Sergeant Wallace speaking.
Ted, thank goodness you're there. I'm speaking from the morgue.
Look, Tom, if you're following up the hit and run story, you'll get nothing at the morgue. We've taken a sample of the paint from the tramp's trousers.
No,
Could be a stolen car.
You don't understand. It's Willie.
Willie?
Yes.
Oh, you mean old man Dalton?
Yes.
Oh, what about him? He's there, isn't he?
He's here, all right. He's no longer in charge. He's one of the charges.
Here, look. Are you drunk?
No.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to tell you. I've just found him. Refrigerator cabinet number 28, reserved for corpses awaiting autopsy or identification. We won't need an autopsy to discover how Willie died. He was murdered. The back of his head's bashed in.
Yeah, what are you saying? You mad? Lying in a...
Yes.
Now, look, Tom, if this is a joke or a newspaper...
Do I sound as if I'm joking? You better go under quickly. I'm not joking, Ted. I'm scared. I'm scared out of my wits. Maybe I've lost him already. My wits, then. Well, maybe that's what he wants, whoever it is listening to me now. He wants my fear to drive me away from here.
Keep hold of yourself. I'll be right over.
All right. Did you hear that? Whoever or whatever you are, that was my friend, Sergeant Ted Wallace of the CID. In a couple of minutes, he'll be here. Ted and a couple of constables. You can't stand there, can you, huh? No windows. Everything's air conditioned. There's only one way for you to get out of this morgue, and that's through that door. Well, that you have to pass me, eh? Well, go on. Why don't you laugh, eh? Go on, laugh. I know you're hiding out on those cabinets. Laugh, you rotten, filthy murderer. Go on, scare me. Maybe I shouldn't have challenged whoever it was. Scared. Every nerve in my body began to tremble. If I didn't pull myself together, I too would become a candidate for one of those cabinets for corpses. What was the matter with Ted Wallace? Why did it take so long? And then I saw it. In the fifth row of the cabinets was one that I pulled out and not replaced. It had contained the dead body of a man who must have been in his early 40s. Slowly it began to rise until it stood erect. It spoke.
Go, mortal. Go. Leave the dead to the dead.
You can't fool me.
Let us rest in peace.
For what?
The old man was sent to his final rest because it was decreed that he would want to end his mortal days.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Go, lest we claim you.
It was all crazy. I'm sure it was. But I became crazy, too. I could take it no more. Who was I to be the avenger of Willie's death? The sentinel guarding the gates of death. I ran. I'm a coward. I don't care. Let the police do their own death. Where are you going, Tommy? Hey, take it easy, old man. Thank heavens you're here. I'm sorry, Ted. I can't get hold of myself. Have you brought anyone with you? Yes, of course. 2 constables. Keep them here by the gate. There's something or someone in there.
Have you been drinking?
Drinking?
I come over here because you told me that...
Willie, dear old Willie, is lying in one of those cabinets.
Yeah, that's what you said, cabinet 28. Well, come on, show me.
Tell them that those 2 cops. Tell them not to move from the gate.
Yes, all right. Anything for a quiet death. Oh, sorry, Tom. I know that wasn't funny. Yeah. Is he really dead? Willie, I mean. Oh, all right. Let's go in.
As we walked towards the cabinets, my feet felt like tons of lead. I could see Ted looking at me out of the corner of his eye, wondering if I'd brought him out on a hoax, that I was drunk, or worse.
Cabinet 28.
Yeah.
You said he was murdered. Head bashed him. What were you running away from?
I knew a ghost and a killer scaring the wits out of me. Well, killer, ghost, you've got company. I've got the law with me. Why don't you laugh now, you rotten swine?
Yeah, listen, Tom. I'm telephoning an ambulance. You're going to hospital.
Oh, maybe we'll both go to the hospital before we leave here tonight. Maybe we'd better book our accommodation here. Well, why don't you laugh at that ghost?
Yeah, leave the ghost for a moment. Where's Willie?
You don't understand. Somebody walked out of that cabinet.
Oh, one of the corpses?
Yes. Laugh as much as you like. There he is. 5 months to go before he was to say goodbye to his dead, and now death has claimed him permanently.
Yeah. Stop searching the place with your eyes like that, will you? You make me nervous.
I'm making you nervous. You haven't heard anything. Wait till our friend starts making with his laugh. All right. You satisfied that Willie's dead, eh?
Yeah, I am.
Just look at that skull. You see?
Yeah.
Do you think a ghost did that?
I think we'd better all go back to the station. I'll keep these...
Are you crazy? You can't do that. What about the killer or whatever it is? He's here, hiding somewhere.
Yes, I know. It was a corpse that stood up.
Yes, Ted. You've hit the nail on the head. It was a corpse that wasn't a corpse, no? Someone who was supposed to be dead. Someone who had to get out of here because... Yes, they had to get out of here before they commenced an autopsy on his live body. Yes. Is that right? Is that why you killed Willie? Come on, Ted.
What now?
The 5th row. Come on, quick. This is it.
That's what?
No identification tag. This cabinet was supposed to be empty. And yet I saw a corpse stand up and frighten... Quick, back to the other one. All right. Now, look. There's supposed to be a corpse in this cabinet, but not the corpse of Willie Dalton. It says Arthur Hudson awaiting burial.
Yeah. Well, now.
Yes, now, just a minute. Let me open this.
Yeah.
And that's poor Willie, eh?
Yeah.
His shirt's off. One shoe, and that's when I must have interrupted the killer. And I thought it was a ghost. But don't you see, Ted? The undertakers would have arrived, and poor Willie would have been buried as Arthur Hudson.
Yes, and that means...
That means the corpse that frightened me out of my wits was Mr. Hudson, who isn't a corpse.
Yeah. Now, look here, Tom. This sounds crazy.
Now, look, Ted. Even before I started getting scared, I couldn't search the mold properly because I daren't go too far from the entrance or the exit, if you like. But now that our 2 friends are at the gate, we're going to search this place until we find friend Hudson. There's nothing here, Tom. He must have changed his hiding place when I ran like a scared rabbit. He must be in... Yes, he must be in one of those refrigerating cabinets.
What, you mean playing at being a corpse for the second time?
That's it. We're going to get you. You'll swing for this.
All right.
Nothing there.
Let's try the next one.
Not there. What about this one?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be... Quite a bloom on your cheeks for a dead man. Get up, corpse. Get up, killer. Have you got him? Yes, here he is. He looks pretty, doesn't he, with his eyes closed?
Yeah, careful, Tommy. Maybe...
We'll soon see. All I've got to do is press his nostrils together like this. If he stares, he won't mind. Like that. Stand up, ghost. Poor corpse. It's very cold, isn't it, without your clothes on? I'll bet you 100 to 1 this swine didn't bother about his fingerprints. Willie would be missing, not dead. He was killed 10 minutes before the morgue was due to shut for the night. Stop him! Well done, Constable. They've got him.
Well, is your name Arthur Hudson? I'm arresting you for the murder of...
I'm shivering.
Oh, cold, are you? I thought ghosts didn't feel the cold.
Please, blanket or something that should arrive from the drugstore. Please, I catch my death of cold.
Oh, he'll catch his death of cold.
Morning, sir.
Oh, come in, Tom, come in.
Yeah, I read your piece this morning. You said there were questions that need to be answered. You said that there were likely to be sensational developments.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's all in the bag. Arthur Hudson, an out-of-work actor, meets Dr. Herbert Williams. Williams had been struck off the medical register after being sentenced for a drug offence. Well, now, he knew about Willie Dalton and the government morgue, since he was at one time connected with the municipal pathological department.
That was the tie-up.
Yeah, that was the scheme. Hudson pretends to be very sick, see? Gets his landlady to phone Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams injects him with a drug that gives him an appearance of death, signs the death certificate, manages to get him put into the police morgue, and you know what?
What?
All for a 50,000 quid life insurance.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
If poor Willie hadn't suspected something and hadn't telephoned me, they might have got away with it, too.
Yeah, that's it. The idea was for Hudson to put on Dalton's clothes and switch identities until Hudson was safely out of the building. He tried to frighten you. You see, he couldn't leave until you did.
He frightened me, all right. If you hadn't arrived in time...
Yeah, well, never mind that now. They're both behind bars. Although friend Hudson is suffering from a severe chill.
Really? You don't think that you're...
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Hello? West London CID, Sam Wallace speaking. Who? What? Yes, all right. I'll look into it. Yeah, we'll send a man round right away. No, not at all. I've got another story for you, Tom.
That's good. What is it?
Yeah, that was Morgan and Sons, wholesale butchers. Their refrigeration room has been burgled. A carcass of beef has been stolen. You interested?
You can go and fry yourself.
What a chilling experience for our young crime reporter. And as for that man Hudson, fancy giving poor old Willie Dalton such a cold reception. Actually, I don't think Mr. Hudson planned things very well, do you? The plan didn't have a ghost of a chance.
In world class. Get the taste of new smooth State Express 3.5s today. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. It's a blend that has been perfected after years of constant research by our master blenders. And the recent development of an entirely new process which gives you an even smoother 3.5 smoke. We promise you, it's the smoothest cigarette you can get. Move in world class. Get the taste of new, smooth State Express 3.5s today.
This is your host back again. Just a reminder of our rendezvous next week. Where are we going? Through the creaking door, of course.
The manufacturers of King Cigarettes invite you to listen next Saturday at 9 o'clock when they will again present The Creaking Door.
Good evening. This is Sergeant X. They say that ghosts and the like just don't exist. That when a person passes on, he just lies quietly, not bothering another soul, so to speak. You believe that, don't you? Mm-hmm. Well, did you ever hear about the skull that walked? No? Then listen, my friends, to the Mystery Playhouse. I guess superstition's a pretty hard thing to down completely, isn't it? I mean, under certain circumstances, almost anybody can get the creeps and get them good. I guess most of us are a little bit afraid of the unknown. For instance, taking a midnight stroll through a graveyard isn't exactly your idea of fun, is it? And I don't suppose you'd particularly go into ecstasies if you happened to witness a good gory murder, either. Well, there's a fellow I know who thinks this all comes under the heading of good, clean fun. His hobby is horror, and he likes to tell stories along those lines. I think he has one for you right now. Wait till I try this door here.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum. This is Raymond, your host. Well, come in, won't you? Yes, how are your spirits this evening? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Our spirits are fine, too. Would you like to see them? Oh, it's no trouble at all. Now, which would you care to see first? The spirit or the body? Oh, well, the body is right over there on the floor. And the spirit is right next to it. Oh, you can't see it. I forgot to tell you, you have to be one in order to see one. Shall we get started? Well, naturally. Now, turn out the lights. No, you won't see any ghosts in the dark, but they'll be able to see you. Far from town, there are a group of 3 hills. On the summit of the highest of them is the Cruz estate, owned by 2 brothers, Arthur and Carl. At this moment, Carl and his wife, Lucille, are digging a hole at the entrance of the estate, planting young poplar trees.
Carl, I think it's deep enough.
Oh, I think we ought to go a little deeper down.
Oh, here comes Spears.
You're digging?
Yes, we're going to plant a whole row of Lombardy poplars.
You mean right here?
Yep. We're going to line both sides of the road.
Well, perhaps you'd better let me do it. I'm your caretaker. I should do the gardening.
Spears, you look upset. What's the matter?
Well, where you're digging is an old Indian burial spot. There's a curse on it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Spears, you don't believe it?
Of course not. Lucille and I don't go in for superstition.
Yes, but it's no superstition, sir. It's
You hit a rock.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it sounds like a rock. It's a little hollow. Dig it up, whatever it is. Yeah. What?
A skull.
Yeah. A skull. Spears is right. This place must have been an old Indian burial ground.
Please put it back.
No, keep it.
Carl, perhaps you'd better put it back.
Please bury it again, Mr. Cruz. It will bring bad luck to all of us.
No, Spears, that's just a silly superstition.
Well, what about the rest of the skeleton?
Well, there doesn't seem to be one. No, just a skull. You bring it into the house, will you, Spears?
I'd rather not.
All right, I'll take it in myself. But don't either of you mention this to my brother Arthur. He's terribly scared of things like this, and he's just gotten over his nervous breakdown.
Carl, perhaps you should put the skull back.
Lucille, you're not being taken in by this hokum about curses, are you?
That sounded like my wife, Mary. She was cleaning the window.
Good heavens. She fell out of the window.
Mary. Well, she's unconscious. Please do something. You must do something.
I'm afraid there's nothing we can do, Spears. She hit her head against a rock. She's dead.
How's Spears?
He's quieted down.
I can't understand it. There's only one rock underneath the window, and Mary hit that. That one rock. There isn't even a pebble around for yards.
Well, don't go imagining things again, Arthur.
Spears kept talking about a curse.
Spears believes in pixies and gremlins, too, don't forget.
Well, I feel rather funny about it all.
Oh, Carl, maybe you'd better switch some more lamps on. This living room feels gloomy.
Oh, let's cut this nonsense out.
Wait. You hear anything?
Oh? I don't.
Yes. I think it's coming from the ceiling.
What's coming from the ceiling? I don't hear...
What is it?
What? It must be the beams. They sometimes do that from the heat.
It's not the beams. It's too regular a sound.
What room is directly above us?
It's an old bedroom. We use it as a storeroom now. It hasn't been open in years.
There's something up there.
Of course, there's a lot of old things from years back, Lucille.
Did you put the skull in the corridor?
Yes, I did.
What are you two whispering of? It's coming down the stairs.
We'll take a look and settle this. So far...
Look! At your feet, Carl.
The skull. How did it get down here?
It came down the steps.
Seems to be looking up at us.
A skull. How did it get into the house?
Carl found it while digging. Spears said it belongs to some Indian.
Spears was right. There is a curse on the house. We'll all be killed. I'm leaving. I can't stand it.
Well, Carl, what are you going to do with the skull?
Well, lock it up in the closet. Lock it.
Carl, you'd better bury it again.
No, I can't do that, Lucille. If I do, it means I believe in all this tummy rot about ghosts.
Well, then suppose you tell me how a skull could open a door and then come bouncing down the steps.
I don't know. Maybe someone's playing a trick on it, dear.
What happened to Mary was no trick, Carl. Nor is this, and you know it.
Well, whatever it is, I'm not going to bury it. We'll keep it locked up in the closet.
Oh, Mr. Cruz.
Yes. What is it, Spears?
Well, it isn't my place to tell you, sir, but
You're referring to the skull, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, it won't bother us anymore. The whole thing's some queer trick. I've got it safely hidden in this closet. I'm putting a lock on the outside.
But the lock isn't going to do any good, sir. It will break through the door, just like the last time.
I don't think anything like that can happen again. I'm the only one that has a key to this lock. If the skull wants to break out, it'll have to come to me for the key. How are you feeling, Arthur?
I'll never feel right in this house again.
Oh, nonsense. Why don't you put a light on? Arthur, there's more of it sitting here in the dark by yourself.
We're all going to die.
Don't be ridiculous, Arthur.
Where is the skull?
Where it can't get out. Tomorrow I'll take it into town and let the police look at it.
Tomorrow will be too late.
But I'm getting tired of this. You've got to get hold of yourself, Arthur. You'll go completely to pieces.
You think I'm a coward, don't you?
Oh, Arthur, no. You're not a coward. You're just a victim of your own exaggerated imagination.
Wait. There's someone at the door.
I'll open it.
Who is it?
I don't know. No one came in.
Something came in. For heaven's sake, put the light on. The skull. I can't believe it. You can't believe it. There it is, grinning at you from the floor, but you can't believe it. You don't believe in these things. I put a lock on the door. Locks aren't going to help. Nothing is going to help. We're all going to die. Yes.
It's an hour later now. Arthur has gotten over his hysteria, but he is still terrified.
I'm not going to spend another night in this house, Carl.
But, Arthur, there's got to be some logical explanation.
I'm not in the least bit curious. I just want to get out of here tonight.
I'm going to go with him, Carl.
Lucille. Well, perhaps we'll bury it again. We'll put it back in the same place we found
That
it.
won't do any good. It's too late now.
Don't be ridiculous. If it wants anything at all, it wants to get buried again. I'm sure all this mysterious business will come to an end as soon as we bury it.
The house won't ever be the same.
Oh, stop it. Both of you. You're acting like a couple of scared children. We'll put the skull back where we found it, and we won't be bothered by it anymore. Spears! Spears!
Yes, Mr. Cruz.
This skull. Let's take it out, bury it in the same place where we found it.
I'm glad you reconsidered, sir. It's the only way. I don't seem to remember the spot. Well, it's on the other side, sir, right near the entrance road.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. Here it is.
Yes. But the hole was dug. It's not here.
I filled it in, sir.
Oh, well, we'd better dig it up.
Yes, sir.
If you'll hold the skull, I'll dig it open. We might as well do it right. I know exactly how deep it was.
If you don't mind, Mr. Cruz, I'd rather not touch the skull.
All right. Yeah, that's about right. There. Now we'll put the thing back.
But it doesn't seem to want to go back.
No, I just missed dropping it into the hole. Hold the right side down here.
Yes.
Well, that does it.
Oh, I hope we'll have no more trouble. Well, Carl, did you bury it?
Yes, same place. That's all. Forget about it, shall we?
Maybe it's easy for you, Carl. But I won't forget about it for a long time.
Neither will I. I'll be having nightmares about it for months.
I don't know what's gotten into you, Lucille. You were never easily frightened.
I'm not. But skulls that roll by themselves give me a funny feeling.
Well, look, come on, let's play cards, huh? Cards? We don't need more than 3 hands to play. We'll forget the whole crazy business, huh? Okay?
I might as well.
All right. Steal the cards.
You. Well, we're getting back to normalcy, huh?
Arthur, pass your card.
That wind came up suddenly.
Who's first?
You are.
Oh, all right. 9 of diamonds.
You'll go, Arthur. Come on, Arthur, throw a card.
I think I hear something.
Of course you do. The wind.
No, I thought I heard a rapping sound.
Look, just pay attention to the game and stop listening for sound.
Here's my card.
You threw a club, diamonds for suit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you hear that?
What was that?
It's only the wind blowing the shutter. Oh, come on, let's play. Throw a card, Arthur.
There's someone at the
It
door.
isn't the wind. Someone's outside.
All right, I'll open the door.
No, don't open it.
Please, Lucille. Sitting here frightened isn't going to do us any good. We've got to open the door.
Don't open it, Carl.
Who is it, Carl?
It's nothing. It's just the wind.
You're lying. Your face is white as a sheet.
I know. It's the skull. It's come back.
I tell you it's nothing. Just the wind. Nobody was there.
I'll see for myself. Hey! The skull!
Oh, Mrs. Cruz, I didn't hear you knock.
I didn't. I want to talk to you, Spear.
Yes, Mrs. Cruz, but it's rather late.
You've been up late before.
Oh, yes, but it's just that I'm tired tonight. I don't mean to be rude.
You've been doing a lot of night work.
What are you referring to, Mrs. Cruz?
Spears, you don't really believe in skulls that move around by themselves, do you?
Well, I warned your husband about it. It's a curse.
Is it part of a curse for a skull to use a trowel to unbury itself? Your trowel?
My trowel?
Oh, you're mistaken.
No, I'm not. I just came from there.
Why would I want to do anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Why? Why I'm here. I'd like to know why.
Please, Mrs. Cruz, I'm tired. We'll talk about it in the morning.
We'll talk about it now, Spears, right now.
Get out of my room.
All right. I'm going straight to the police. I've got the trowel. We'll see if the skull left any fingerprints.
You won't do that, Mrs. Cruz.
Oh, yes, I will. All right, Spears, just sit right where you are. I'll shoot.
Oh, please. Put the gun down.
Start talking.
Oh, it's all a mistake.
If you don't start talking, I'll shoot. In self-defense. Did you dig up that skull?
Well,
Did you?
Yes. Yes, I did.
And you rolled the skull down the steps. The first night it was in this house, didn't you?
Well, it was only a joke.
And you also managed to open the closet.
Yes, but
Whose skull is it?
I don't know.
You're lying. That skull has something to do with you. I checked up on it. Your first wife disappeared. Perhaps the police can identify the skull.
Oh, please, don't go to the police. Well, it was my first wife, Jane. I killed her. I didn't want your husband to bring the skull to the police, so I tried to scare all of you away from here as the safest measure.
Go on.
Here. Wait a minute. Who rolled the skull into Arthur's room? It wasn't me. It must have been...
That's right. It was me. Perhaps you and I can work things out. I tried to frighten my dear brother-in-law Arthur away so that I can have complete ownership of the entire estate. You see, Arthur is leaving tonight.
Yeah. Perhaps we can help each other. No one has to know of our little conversation.
No one is going to know.
Well, now that we've both accomplished our purpose, maybe it would be the best thing to bury the skull again.
Yes. We'll do it now.
Well, here we are.
Let's hurry. They'll miss me if I'm out here too long.
Perhaps we'd better dig another hole.
It doesn't matter.
Will you hold the skull?
No. Better not.
You haven't suddenly gotten squeamish, have you, Mrs. Cruz?
Put the skull in the ground and dig that hole.
All right. What's the matter?
The skull. Look at it.
What about it?
It's moving. Can't you see?
Well, it is just the wind pushing it. There. Yes. There. It's deep enough now. Hand me the skull. Oh, I forgot. You won't touch it. All right, I'll get it myself.
What's the matter?
My hand. I can't get my hand out. The jaws. Clamp down.
Your hand.
Please. Help me. You've got to help me. Do something. You've got to do something. It won't let go. Oh, please, Jane. Jane, darling. I didn't mean to kill you. You're my wife. I didn't mean it. It was an accident. Please believe me. I'd do anything. Anything. Oh, no. No, Jane. Oh.
How is she, Carl?
Pretty bad. The doctor says it's hopeless. Nothing more I can do. Her hair turned completely white. She's just out of her mind. Horrible. Spears died this morning. He never recovered consciousness. Died of fright.
Everything else seems to make sense, but I don't understand how the skull could have clamped its jaws on his hand.
When he picked it up, he must have picked it up upside down. The lower jaw, which swings on a hinge, came down. He was so frightened that his hand froze to the skull. Spears was just frightened to death.
I want that skull. Yes, sir, I want it as a knocker for the inner sanctum door. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
thank you very much, friend Raymond. Your sense of humor is really quite refreshing. That is in a ghoulish sort of way. We'll be trying your creaking door again soon for some more laughs. Well, right now, let's look in on the green room where the players are rehearsing the next performance in the Mystery Playhouse. Follow me, please. Come.
What a crowd. Hey, Dexter, how's it feel to be both a spy-catching hero and a prospective bridegroom at the same time? At the moment, it feels like being the 13th sardine in a tin built for 12.
My doghouse is always like this.
Hey, finish your story, Stanley, about Dexter reporting the German agent that, what's his name?
Courts.
Courts.
Well, Dexter here figures that Courts is up to something, so he tips off the FBI.
Hey, you guys, take a look at that gal in the black dress.
That's fine thought for a guy who's about to get married.
Go on, Stanley. Dexter's only trying to change the subject.
Well, following up Dexter's tip, the federal men trapped Courts. That was 6 weeks ago. So today, in 3 minutes, in fact, Courts is going to get quite a shock. Quite a shock.
You mean they're going to...
That's right. At 6 o'clock, that'll be less than 3 minutes now, Courts is being electrocuted. You ought to read the newspapers, Lieutenant, and find out about things.
Well, when you just got back from the canal zone, you're likely to neglect the newspapers for the first few days. Hey, the gal behind us. What'd you say, Dexter? The gal behind us. One in the black dress. Oh. Mob's too thick. I can't even turn around to get a look at her. Hey, go on, Stanley. What was this Courts after?
Plans of a new type mortar, wasn't it, Dexter?
Mortar? I can't say.
Oh, don't be such a clam.
But it's taboo, I tell you.
Well, don't get sore about it.
Oh, who's sore? Come on. Let's get out of this mob and find some less crowded joint, huh?
Oh, take it easy. Let's have at least one drink here, now we finally got to the bar.
What the hell? What's the matter, Dexter? Somebody step on your corn? Oh, no, it felt like someone stuck a needle in my hand, but the way I'm wedged in here, I can't even lift my hand to see.
Probably a pen scratched you. With all these women about.
Hey, Dexter, according to the clock on the wall there, Courts is being executed right this second. Hey, it's kind of close in here. Let's get out and get some fresh air, huh? Take a look in the mirror over the bar, Stanley. That woman behind me. That's what Dexter's been muttering about. The brunette in black. Smooth. Hey, do you know her?
What makes you think I know her?
Well, I thought she nodded at you.
Just my natural good looks. I never saw her before in my life.
It's kind of close in here. Let's get out. I can hardly breathe. Stop clowning, Dexter. Quit leaning on me.
What's eating, Dexter? Just because he's going to be married.
You shouldn't have mentioned marriage, Stanley. From the way he's leaning on me, he must have faded. That's all her fright. Come on, Dexter. Take your weight off him. All I can do is take care of myself. Say, Stanley. He has fainted or something. No kidding.
Oh, Dexter's a practical joke.
No, this isn't a joke. He's all gray about the lips. Look at... let me follow. Oh, Dexter, what's the matter? Dexter.
Is he all right? Is he all right?
No, he isn't. I think he's dead.
Oh, it's impossible.
Is there a doctor here?
Open his collar or something. Just a little late there.
Please, let the doctor through.
Lieutenant, what on earth happened?
The doctor, maybe he can tell us. Hey, Dr. Robert here.
Ralph, here, let's have a look. Oh. Help me turn this man over.
Sure.
Looks like he's been suffocated.
Doctor, is he dead?
Oh, yes, he's dead, all right.
He can't be. Only a minute ago, he was standing here talking with us.
He said something about somebody sticking a needle in his hand.
What's that piece of black paper on the back of his right hand?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. It's thin black cardboard. Perfect circle about a quarter of an inch in diameter. With a tiny hole in the exact center. There's a small puncture in the skin on the back of the right hand. Right over the place where the circular piece of cardboard was. A drop of blood caused the cardboard to adhere to his hand. Somebody better call the police.
The police? Why?
Because it looks as if your friend here has been murdered.
But he couldn't have been murdered. I was standing right beside him all the time.
No one to leave. Everybody stay right where you are. And you over there, call the police department and ask for homicide.
I'm Detective Sergeant Locke. Are you the doctor who called headquarters?
Yes, that's right.
Who's the guy on the floor? What happened to him?
Willard Dexter. As to what happened to him,
We don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Who was nearest Dexter at the time?
well, the lieutenant and I were with him.
And I was behind him, and so was this lady.
Oh, you were, huh? How about that, lady?
Yes, I guess that's right.
Okay, then I want to take you two ladies, and you, Lieutenant, and you, mister. Besides for questioning. We'll go in this office here. All right, Doc, would you come along too, please?
Of course, Sergeant.
All right, just step in. All right, Blondie, you too.
Oh, I can't. I got a date in 10 minutes.
Go on, get in there.
Am I arrested?
Are you up? Look, Blondie, you will be in just about 1 second if you don't get in there.
Oh, all right. But don't call me Blondie.
Hey, Durkin, don't let anyone in here.
Right.
Now, we'll get a little privacy. Lieutenant, let's have your story first.
Well, we were standing in the crowd.
Your name?
Lieutenant Max Lurbach.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, Stanley and Dexter and I were at the bar.
In what order?
Order? Well, Dexter was on the right. I was in the middle, and Stanley was on the left.
All right, go on.
Dexter said that someone stuck a needle in his hand. Then suddenly he went limp and fell to the floor.
Sergeant, on the back of his right hand, I found this little black cardboard disc. Under the disc is a small wound, and I've made a study of poisons. I believe that this man, Dexter, was poisoned.
Poison?
Yes. There's a poison which, taken internally, may do no harm at all. But the smallest bit introduced directly into the bloodstream causes almost immediate paralysis of the nerves which control the breathing.
What poison?
Curare.
Huh?
There's a trace of what seems to be curare on the underside of that black cardboard disc.
Then you think he was murdered?
It appears probable.
Your idea, Doctor, is that someone jabbed a poison-coated needle into Dexter's hand?
A minute or so before he collapsed.
Now, where would a guy get this stuff?
Well, certainly not from the average drugstore. Curare is made by the South American Indians. It's very rare in this country.
Say, Stanley, did you notice? Dexter died at the same time Quartz was executed.
I hadn't thought
What's that? The spy was electrocuted?
Yes, Sergeant. Dexter was the clerk in the Army Ordnance Department who suspected Quartz and tipped off the FBI.
Yeah?
It couldn't have been a coincidence that they both died at practically the same minute. You don't suppose that...
I don't suppose anything yet.
Hey, Sarge. Photo and fingerprint boys are here.
Right where you, Durkin. Now, everyone, just sit tight a minute.
Say, that's a rather unusual way to kill somebody, don't you think? I wonder if that police sergeant is right, and the killer really is one of those 4 people. Well, it's too bad our time is all up, or we could stay around and find out. I'm afraid you'll have to wait until next time, when we present the entire story of Death in the Doghouse. This is Sergeant X, closing the doors of the Mystery Playhouse. Good night. Sleep tight. This is the Armed Forces Radio Service.
That's our show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd. I also have a YouTube channel, Terror Radio. Please check it out. Like and subscribe. Share the videos. It will be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.